In this video, we're going to use the properties of the trigonometric functions to solve these problems that we have here. We kind of touched on that in another video dealing with periodic properties. This will be kind of follow-up of that video. So let's look at the first one. We're given that the sine of theta is equal to 0.3. We want to find the value of this expression here. So this is the sine of theta. Well, that's given 0.3 or just 0.3. Plus. Then the next one is the sine of theta plus 2 pi. Well, 2 pi is the period of the sine function. We saw earlier that the sine, and then for the next one, same sort of thing. The sine of theta plus a multiple of the period. Well, this is going to be 2 times 2 pi, and 2 pi is the period. So this would be the same thing as the sine of theta, which is, again, 0.3. And we need one plus sign here. So we add these up and get 0.9. And that's it for that one. Go to the next one then. Here we're given for number 2, tangent of theta is equal to 3. Find the value of, it tells you tangent of theta. Okay, tangent of theta is given to be 3. So this is 3. Plus. Now the period of the tangent function is pi. So we're just adding a pi to the angle theta. So that leaves it. The answer is going to be the same then. Tangent of theta plus pi will be the same thing as tangent of theta. But the tangent of theta, again, is given to be 3. The next one, again, here we have a multiple of the period, pi. So it's just 2 times pi. So just adding the multiple of the period to theta, it doesn't change the tangent of theta plus 2 pi. It's still going to be tangent of theta. And the tangent of theta is 3. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 gives us 9. And there we have it. Now the next two deal with the graph of the functions. For number 3 is going to deal with the sine function. And for number 4 to deal with the graph of the cosine function. So find the value of, so we have sine of 1 degree plus sine rather of 2 degrees plus sine of 3 degrees all the way up to 359. So that's what these 3 dots mean. We're going to go 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, all the way to 359. So let's look at it this way. This is an approximation of the graph of sine function. This is 0 radians and 1 complete period. It ends up here at 2 pi radians. And then up to here, that's pi over 2 radians. Or 90 degrees, if you write this in 90 degrees. And this is pi here. This point right here would be 3 pi over 2. So that's one complete period of the function. So if you look at this in degrees, this is going from 0, this is in degrees, this would be 0 degrees all the way, and then this pi would be 360 degrees. One period of the graph. And then it repeats. So we can just look at this here then. Here we have, notice we have 1 degree over here somewhere, and then it's a positive value, and so on. Now when we get to pi, that's 90 degrees. So if we get to 91 degrees, that gives me a negative value. So this just repeats. The value of y that I get in that first interval from 0 to pi are the same as the ones that I get from pi or 180 to 360, except they're negative. So the values that I get in here are positive for the y's, and the y's I get over here are negative. They just cancel each other out. So they just give me 0. Because of the nature of the graph, this comes out to 0. Now we have almost a similar thing here with the cosine function. So the cosine function will start somewhere over here. And it's going to go something like that. It's just a rough sketch, not that accurate, but that's what we have. Now this one I'll do in degrees. So let's say that this is 90 degrees here. And say this point here is 180. This is 270, and it terminates at 360 or 2 pi. We're dealing with radians. So the same thing here. If I'm in the interval from 0 to 90 for degrees, 1 degree, 2 degrees, and so on, all the way up to 90, those values are positive. But as I pass 90 degrees all the way up to 180, those values are negative. So these values right here, I got to cancel with the values that I get here in this interval here. And then from 180 to 270, those are negative, and from 270 to 360, those are positive. So those are going to cancel out. The only value I'm going to have left over is at 180. The cosine at 180, cosine of 180 is -1. So at 180, the y value is -1. All the other ones cancel out. So the only value I have then for this expression is -1. So all of these are going to cancel. The 1 degree will cancel with the 91 degrees and so forth. And the only thing, everything else is going to cancel out except that middle value at 180. And that's going to produce a value of -1. And that's all I'm going to have left over. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.